Hello and welcome once again to my channel. I hope you all had a great week. On this channel, every weekend I make at least 2 videos on early stage high growth companies. I tend to talk about IPOs a lot, and I also tend to focus sometimes on health companies because I have a health background, and the health companies are a really very sweet spot for me. Today I decided I'll be talking about the upcoming Airtasker IPO. If you're interested in buying into this IPO, I actually left a link down below for where you can click and access their prospectus. So the link to the prospectus one would offer you a lot of information that I might not be able to provide on this video about Airtasker and the upcoming IPO. I would like to make a disclosure before I get into details on this video. The disclosure is that I'm not going to be participating in the Airtasker IPO, and there are a few reasons for this. Although I'm not going to participate in the IPO, I still decided to make a video because I thought the Airtasker IPO is of very significant public interest, and a lot of investors are interested in purchasing this one. So let's start with the reasons why I decided that I'm not going to be participating in this IPO. First and foremost, there is a lack of confidence in the wider gig industry. The reason I said this is this. I look at the other competitors of Airtasker out there, which might not precisely fall into the same basket as Airtasker. I still think there is a lot of similarities between this company and Airtasker, and the company that I look at is Freelancer. Freelancer has been operating for the past 14 years, and they've been listed on the Australian Stock Exchange for quite a while. And unfortunately, Freelancer has not really performed well since their listing. The share price have really crashed over the years, and they've not been able to turn profit for so many years. They've always been at the verge of turning a profit, but they never really do. And their revenue is not really growing at a significant rate anymore. This can be quite disappointing, and this can be quite discouraging if you look at Freelancer and you put it side by side with Airtasker, looking at the similarities in terms of what they do, and they generally broadly will fall into the same industry category. When you also look at Airtasker very closely, you discover that they've been operating for the past 7 years, and they've been unable to turn a profit as well. As a matter of fact, their losses have increased over the last few years. The loss in the previous financial year was $10 million, and that had increased to about $12 million in the last financial year. This can be quite a signal that they might actually be taking a while before they would ever turn profit. And if that's going to be the case, we must realize that even though there could be fluctuation in their price and volatility initially when they list on the Australian Stock Exchange, on the long term or in the long run, it's unlikely that the shares will perform very well if they don't turn a profit. And obviously, it's not likely that there will be earnings such as dividend and that sort of thing, which I would like to get from a company that I'm going to be investing in. The third reason why I also decided I wouldn't be participating in the IPO is because I have a few questions about the product that Airtasker offers. First and foremost, I would say from a user perspective, from someone that has actually published or used Airtasker to give out freelance work, I would say that the user experience has not been up to scratch. The company has been operating for a few years, and I would expect by now that there should have been an overhaul of their web app, their website, and the entire interface of their product to make it much more dynamic and a better user experience. But I would say the website still feel very clunky, and the app is actually just so similar to the website that you don't really feel the difference between navigating the platform on a mobile as compared to when you do it on the website. So the app is pretty similar to the web app. The experience, your user experience, is not good enough either, and the user interface is very clunky and outdated. So I feel that this company has not even focused sufficiently on delivering up to scratch, in delivering an experience that is up to scratch for their users. In addition to this, on the end of the taskers, there's a lot of negative review out there about Airtasker actually that the jobs that are advertised there are so cheap, and it's mainly for people that want to get their job done at a cheap price. And in addition to this, Airtasker takes a lot of cut from the tasker's pay. And this is very discouraging in terms of the fact that a lot of people don't want to use Airtasker for a long period of time. They just want to use it to build their client base and then use other approaches to contact their client and work directly with their client. And if that is the case, that is not going to be sustainable for Airtasker. So there's the issue of confidence with the people using Airtasker to do their freelance work, and as well as the taskers and the task key. And this is a very significant issue for me. If the product is not good enough, then I don't see how I can justify investing in the company. The fourth reason that I would not be participating in the Airtasker IPO is something that is not really well known out there, but I've actually researched and I've seen this somewhere. Airtasker has attempted to offer their product or to expand their services to the United States. And this really was a botched process. It didn't go well. This might be because they have very strong competitors in the United States, like TaskRabbit, for example. But I feel that a company should have done adequate research and see what their chances are before they actually attempted or spend money engaging in this sort of process, because it could be very expensive to be expanding to a new territory. And without doing your investigation or research, if you actually did that, that's wasting a lot of money on expansion. And it seems that the focus of the company is not turning profit, according to the CEO. What they're trying to achieve now is expansion. So if one of the expansion has actually already failed previously, then I'm not really sure, and I'm not really going to be confident about the subsequent expansion. Now they've recently expanded to the UK as well, and it'll be interesting to see how that expansion goes. But from the knowledge that I've gathered about the botched and the unsuccessful expansion to the United States, I don't really have a lot of confidence regarding the expansion to the UK either. So if this company remains on this current trajectory and on this path that they are, I'm not confident about them being able to have adequate returns for me as an investor. And that is why I decided that Airtasker is not going to be for me at this time. But that is not to say that that decision is the right decision. As I always say on this channel, you still have to do your own research, and you have to see if there are some other parameters about Airtasker or some positive aspect of Airtasker that, as a company, that actually makes you confident and makes you want to invest with them. But all I'm doing here is to provide my own perspective, which shouldn't serve as any form of financial advice, because I don't have the qualification to give you financial advice. I'm just sharing my perspective for educational purposes. And I really thank you for listening to my videos today. If you really still want to learn more about Airtasker, definitely click on the prospectus of the company and read more about them. Their shares currently is being offered to a few number of taskers on their platform. I don't know the rationale and the way this distribution will be done. Probably those that have been there for a certain number of years and those that have had a certain amount of gigs or jobs that they've completed. The second category would be obviously through the brokers, and then through certain institutions, and then obviously the general public. So I believe if I'll be investing in Airtasker at all, it would not be during these early stages. I would like to see how their business trades and performs in the next coming months once they get listed. And let's not forget, the listing on the Australian Stock Exchange will be on the 22nd of March. So definitely keep a close eye on that and see how Airtasker goes. If you have any different opinion or comment, please don't hesitate to put your comment. And if you enjoy my video, kindly subscribe to this channel. Thanks for your support once again. Thank you.